Hear what? I'm receiving some sort of transmission. Routed through the main system. Routing.
Looking to take a Disney vacation or cruise? Contact Kristen of MagicalJourneysVacations.com. Magical Journeys is an authorized Disney vacation planner. Kristen will get you the best price available and continue to search for deals until the day you travel, taking the worry out of planning your fantastic vacation. Kristen can help plan your dining reservations and answer any questions you may have. She'll even send you maps from the parks. So contact Kristen of Magical Journeys for your next cruise or Disney vacation. Contact Kristen of Magical Journeys at MagicalJourneysVacations.com. So what are you waiting for? Book today at MagicalJourneysVacations.com.
Wow, that sounds great. I want to go. Well, you can't. Why not? Because we have to stay at our posts and keep rebel scum like him out.
Book today at MagicalJourneysVacations.com.
Welcome to WDW After Dark. You can hear me. I've got a helmet on my head.
We all kind of.
Woo, I tell you what. Working for Jabba the Hutt comes with a price. It's pretty hot in that helmet. Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. WDW After Dark. Your finest in entertainment over the past 4 years, bringing you great Disney discussion with an adult twist. Your live and uncensored weekly webcast. You can find us on YouTube.com/WDW After Dark. That's where we are every single Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, or roughly around 9 p.m. Eastern. Ish, somewhere in that neighborhood, in that general vicinity. We are all Disney fans here, so once again, feel free to pull up a beverage of your choosing. Maybe it's an adult beverage. Maybe it's a Shirley Temple. I don't know. But all I know is, yes, okay, that too, whatever that is. One Direction,
it is
Jeff?
sweet tea.
And sweet tea is...
Or as we call it down here in the South, tea.
Sweet tea. No, that's good stuff. I had to put that helmet down. Once again, thanks for joining us on the program. Welcome to Talking Heads. We've got here Mr. Eric, your ghost host, Alan.
We have 999 happy homes here at WDW After Dark, but there's room for 1,000. Any volunteers?
Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you
Also,
very much.
Thank you very much. Where's your peanut butter and banana sandwich?
I ate it for lunch.
Nice,
Ooh.
very nice, very nice. Also joining us today, another talking head. He is what we know as the news monster, and on occasion, he's also part of Aces and Eights on TNA Wrestling. Please welcome Jeff Disney Davis.
Greetings, people. Welcome. How are you?
Very, very good, very good. Also, the occasional bike rider. You might know him from Sons of Anarchy as well. That
would be me.
Mask. Yeah, there you go.
If I had a bike, that would be me. Yeah.
There you go. Well, you got a Schwinn. Okay. I don't know how good that'll do with the Sons of Anarchy, but you know, he tries. People.
I do try. Yeah.
Will Hershey is on vacation today. Wow, lucky Will. Kristen, once again, stuck in the Phantom Zone tonight. I don't know what the deal is. Every single week we have some type of issue. Last week, Kristen and I were at an event. We couldn't make it in time, and apparently you guys had some issues trying to get Dan Barnes in from New York for New York Comic Con.
Oh, we didn't have issues. We just couldn't do it.
Just couldn't do it.
It was it was just disastrous trying to get him on. It really was. It was bad.
Well, you still had a great show nonetheless. I enjoyed it. A lot of great Disney discussion on last week's program, and this week we're going to have some more great discussion. We're going to be talking about the New York Comic Con. We've got a bunch of different news items to talk about regarding ABC's Once Upon a Time, Marvel, Star Wars, of course, Disney in the mix as well. And, of course, Jeff's got some news for the Walt Disney World Resort. Erica's got the latest in gaming news. Kristen's got a couple things as well. Once she gets her butt in here, that'll be great. She'll be able to clue you in on all things Disney food and some special events coming to the Walt Disney World Resort. Don't forget, everybody, you can go ahead and like and subscribe to our feed over there on YouTube. It's very quick, very easy. You want to take this podcast with you. You just don't want to get the video treatment. You want to get the audio treatment as well. You can also find us on Stitcher and, of course, iTunes. Be sure to subscribe to all the feeds. And maybe at the end of this feed, I'll squeeze in some extra bonus footage on the video feed and on the podcast feed that you will not get in the live show regarding New York Comic Con, which was great. Really quick to mention, Jeff did a great job mentioning our sponsors. Don't forget, you can always support the show by booking your vacation with Disney's Magical Journeys Travel. Kristen is there to help you out. Disney, every type of cruise line imaginable, including, of course, the Disney Cruise Line, and, of course, trips to the other park. We're talking about Universal. She does that, too. And she's more than willing to help you out and help you navigate through the reservation system that can be a little bit difficult for new and first-timers there to the park. So be sure to give her a call, give her an email. There you go. She's more than happy to help you out. MagicalJourneysVacations.com. Also, we've got different links there for Amazon, Fandango, Halloween Express for that time of year, so be sure you click those links. Should you go shopping, of course, we never ask you to buy anything, but if you do, please support our show because this really helps us do the show live each and every single week for you for free. No one's getting paid for this. We do it because we love it, and of course because we're certifiably insane. So having said that,
attention.
Yeah, we do. We can't help ourselves. We're the talking heads of Disney, after all. So I tell you what, we've got a big show, a lot of news to cover. Before we launch into that, we've got a segment coming up later on the show called If I Were Iger. We asked a question to a bunch of people at the Sorcerer Radio Disney Fun Zone, as well as over social media. If you were Bob Iger for a day, what would you change and why? So we pose that question to you now, and we're going to get back to that question. If you were Bob Iger, what would you change in the parks for one day, and why? So we'll revisit that question at the end of the week, or at the end of the show. And Jeff Davis will pose his question for the following week, and you can reply, of course, to us via social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and we'll answer your questions and read your comments on the show. So right now, without any further ado, Jeff Davis is here with you with Disney Headline News. Mr. Davis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Go.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a Run Disney person. I don't know if any of you are.
I'm sure we have a few of our viewers and listeners that are.
Yeah, I'm sure there are some out there, yeah.
I run to the fridge. That's about it.
I do that myself, yeah, and I run to get these on occasion. So, nice Red's Apple Ale here. It's very yummy. Nice. I love this stuff. Anyway, yeah, some Run Disney news was confirmed the other day that for the 2015 and the 2016 event calendar, there is an absence of the Tower of Terror 10-miler. It's a very, very, very popular 10-mile race over Disney's Hollywood Studios, and is literally every time sold out. So, to me, I'm thinking that this points to something else big. You know, in the past few shows, we've been talking about Disney's Hollywood Studios, Soundstage 1, the closure of the Backlot Studio Tour. So, with them not doing the Tower of Terror 10-miler for 2 consecutive years, that almost pretty much guarantees something huge is coming to the Hollywood Studios. And it really just all points to Toy Story Mania. And what we think, and we, pretty much are 100% on this, the third track, to accommodate all of the guests that absolutely love this attraction. And so you just have to do one of the other, Run Disney events, since you can't do the Tower of Terror 10-miler, unfortunately. But lots of others that you can enjoy. Of course, the event is normally held in October to go along with the Halloween theming, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and everything else. So, Aljon, what do you think that pretty much confirms the rumors we've been hearing for weeks upon weeks about what's going to happen over in that area?
I don't know if it confirms it, but I believe it lends more credence to that news, that rumor. I think it's very valid. Very valid.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I thought for sure they were going to be surveying the land for Star Wars, but I know that they've done that, a long time ago, not in a galaxy far, far away, but but they did that a while back. So yeah, for sure. Well, it makes sense. You guys made the best case for the reasons for the expansion into a third queue last week. It was very, very well thought out discussion, and I found myself chiming in like I was part of the show, which was great. But it was, I definitely feel like you guys were on the right track, so to speak. So.
Yeah, quote unquote on that. Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to, testing fast pass only or
thank you.
Story Mania, we need something else. It definitely it's understandable for them to want to go in that direction with Toy Story Mania. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I know. Even though it is a sold-out event, I'm sure Disney will think of something else to make up for it so they can not lose so much money when it comes to stuff like that. So, moving on to the Magic Kingdom, I've told you guys before about Memento Mori opening in Liberty Square. It's the brand-new Haunted Mansion-themed merchandise store that you can go into and find all kinds of different stuff. But what Disney Park blog did is they gave readers a look inside the new retail location, and they also shared some guidelines. Yeah, you have guidelines when you enter this store, and I want to go over
They're more like guidelines than actual rules.
Thank you.
Yeah. I figured somebody was going to say that, yeah. When you have guidelines when you go into a store, there's it's definitely going to be popular. There's going to be a lot of people buying a lot of stuff. So with that in mind, here are those guidelines that Disney has put out to everybody. First, the store has a purchase limit of 6 items per style, per guest, per day for any products in the store.
What?
Literally. Yes.
What did you say?
I'm going to say that one more time.
Say it one more time.
The guidelines, first, for Memento Mori over in the Magic Kingdom Liberty Square, the store has a purchase limit of 6 items per style, per guest, per day, for any products in the store.
Ah. Okay.
Wow. Okay. That's going to cost quite a bit, but okay. That's what you want to do. Also, the new Haunted Mansion Open Edition pins can be found in both Memento Mori in Liberty Square and in Frontierland's Frontier Trading Post. So there are 2 different locations that you can find those. Those pins are going to go very, very quickly. I'm sure they probably won't be around for the longest time, so grab one while you can. Also,
go ahead. I'm sorry. I got something to add when you get done.
Okay, just one more. Visitors also can find the Haunted Mansion-themed Donnie and Burke bags at Uptown Jewelers on Main Street and not in Memento Mori or Cherry Tree Lane in the Marketplace Co-op in the Downtown Disney Marketplace.
Do you realize how popular those Dooney and Burke bags actually are?
But they're
it's
aren't
a
they just
phenomenon.
like an extreme amount of money, though? I mean, aren't they?
Yes,
Oh
they
yeah, they're
are.
very expensive. They're high-end bags. It's a high-end quality bag, and I have friends that collect those bags, and they just can't get enough of them. They love Dooney and Burke. They really do, and you know, don't stand in the way of someone in their Dooney.
There you go.
Wow, you just went there on that. That's wow.
Totally went there.
Don't stand in the way of my Dooney.
Yeah, she did it all for the Dooney. It's so bad.
Eric, what were
Did
you
it
going
for
to add
the
to the end of that?
Did it for the Dooney.
Those of you were mentioning the limits on how much you could purchase per person, per day, per nauseum, per whatever. Did you know that that some of the merchandise that you can find in Memento Mori can be found online at DisneyStore.com?
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
If you go to, as a matter of fact, I got it up on my screen here. I went to DisneyStore.com, and in the little search box, it says, "What can we find for you?" Just type in Haunted Mansion. There's 51 items in here. There's like the Haunted Mansion ornament set for the statue busts, the singing busts, the tombstones ornament set, wall hanging T-shirts. I got to get this T-shirt. You can probably tell I'm wearing a Haunted Mansion T-shirt already, and this was a special limited edition offer they had several weeks back. By the way, if you see one advertised, jump on that crap because you ain't going to be able to get it long. Just saying. The shirt that I've got to get, though, it's a T-shirt, but it is the host costume. Like, the three-piece suit with the morning coat and the vest, waistcoat, the tie, even the cast member pin. And it is $24.95, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Yeah, I mean, there's placemats, there are the mugs, signs, tchotchkes, ornaments, the Haunted Mansion bottle stopper. Think about this. The bats there on the little posts as you go through the queue. The Haunted Mansion candle holder. There you go. Haunted Mansion coaster set. Just a bunch of different stuff on here. So if you can't get down to Memento Mori, you can at least go online.
And you can go to diningatdisney.com and pick up your stuff because Kristen just got herself a little sponsorship for diningatdisney.com. So you can go click that link to the Disney store from her site. How cool is that?
There you go.
Very cool.
Perfect, right?
Funny how that works out.
Yeah. Can't wait till we get one of those.
I haven't seen all of the merchandise that's available in Memento Mori. And I know this is a long shot, but do you guys remember the Doom Buggy license plates?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I really
love those.
Really hope that those come back to the store in Memento Mori because I did not get a chance to pick one up, and I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot for it because I've always wanted one. And they're really expensive online if you look for them like on Amazon or if you're looking for them on eBay. I mean, they're going for upwards of $70+ just for a license plate. So,
well, what you could do, Jeff, is you could actually make a request to Walt Disney Merchandising or Disney Parks Merchandise and say, hey, by the way, I think you guys should carry the license plate again. I mean, they take all those letters up to merchandising, and who knows, maybe they'll take your consideration under advisement and put out a license plate sooner than later.
That would be nice. I would be happy about that. So
if you're watching this video or if you're listening to this podcast, go write them a letter. Say, we need the Doom Buggy license plates back so Jeff can get one on the front of his car.
No, I wouldn't even put that. I would not put that on the front of my car. No, wouldn't do it.
Really? You put it on your desk?
I'd put it on my desk. It'd go on the wall. No doubt about it.
Okay, so Jeff can get it on his wall. There, we happy now?
Exactly.
I want one. I want a Space Mountain one. That'd be awesome to do it in that Space Mountain font.
Oh yeah, it would be.
That would be good.
That would be kind of cool, actually. Yeah.
My other car is a spaceship. I don't know. Something.
They used to have those window clings, those stickers that you could put on the back of your vehicle.
My other car is a dune buggy.
My other car is a dune buggy.
My other car
There
is
you
a
go.
monorail.
Yep. And I think there's one other one. I can't remember what the other one is. But
Well,
they do
I've
have
got
those
one.
types.
I've got one that came from Disney World. It had the Muppet animal on it, since I drive like an animal. So
There you go.
Well, people do know that by my reputation alone, so I don't think I need it. So
there you go.
to say
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So make sure you follow those guidelines when you're visiting Memento Mori. They're in Liberty Square at the Magic Kingdom. Seems that a woman was arrested following an incident with officers over at Epcot. This is a nice, interesting story. Police arrested a Canadian woman on Sunday, October the 5th. Hold on before you go crazy, because I know what you're about to do.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm away. That's a callback from last week.
She saw the Lumberjack show and she went crazy.
She did.
Police arrested a Canadian woman on Sunday, October the 5th in Epcot after she allegedly impersonated a police officer and assaulted another law enforcement official. According to WESH2, Anne Tremblay, 48, went through Epcot's employee entrance and fled from a security officer who confronted her upon entry. Now, from there, another deputy approached the woman who said she was a Canadian police officer. It gets better.
Get off, hey, I'm the fuzz.
It gets better. The deputy began to arrest the woman after she could not produce any law enforcement identification or credentials. During that
Let
time,
me see your ID.
While all this was going on, she allegedly stomped on the deputy's foot, literally, and then offered the officer sexual favors as well.
Wow.
It's just,
Would maple syrup happen to be involved in this one?
wow. I mean, it just kind of blew me away, and I went, she stomps on the foot of an officer, but yet offers him sexual favors at the same time. I mean,
Perfect.
I'm scratching my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way to go there, Ralphie boy.
Oh wow, sorry I stomped on your foot, eh? Let me lay you and make it better.
Oh, so after all this, the police report indicated she threatened the man with his job as well. So we're stomping on feet, we're offering sexual favors, and we're threatening the guy. So this is all. This tells me too much food and wine. Probably it was probably more wine than anything, but it's just
She's definitely covering the bases.
Yeah, she has. She was charged with impersonating a law enforcement officer with the intent to commit a felony and battery on a law enforcement officer. During a search through the woman's bag after her arrest, officers did find Canadian identification and her passport as well. So people drink responsibly when you're at Food and Wine Festival there at Epcot. I know it's nice to check out the beer flights and check the different wines or sample some fantastic tequila over there in Mexico with a scorpion or a worm, but good Lord. Don't try and be a hooker / law enforcement officer backstage.
Looks like she was trying to get the worm from another kind of bottle, wasn't she?
Hello.
Epic fail. So, yeah, bad idea. Bad idea, people.
Nice.
Think about it. Use your brains. There's a Walt Disney World merchandise update that I want to give you guys. If you're a fan of maybe Epcot Center, of course, it was 80s Week on Sorcerer Radio this past week. One of my favorite theme weeks. I love 80s Week. Some of the retro merchandise that they put over there is absolutely fantastic. It's a new line of clothing and accessories based on the early days of Epcot that we all know and love. The latest merchandise arriving at Walt Disney World included designs inspired by classic graphics used in Epcot Center, which are updated from the recent 30th anniversary of Epcot items in 2012. Among the items, the merchandise are T-shirts, sweatshirts, baseball hats, an iPhone case, and a keychain featuring artwork from the classic Epcot Center attractions, such as the Living Seas, Sea Base Alpha, Figment from Dreamfinder and Figment, Journey into Imagination, and a lot more. So you want to check out merchandise while you're over there at Epcot and enjoying the Food and Wine Festival responsibly. Okay.
Responsibly. Don't try to find the worm.
Hey guys, I'm gonna switch to another area so Kristen and I can both join you. So I'm gonna hop off for a second, but please continue.
Okay, no problem. One other thing that I am going to talk about is a contest to award Haunted Mansion Party. Now that it's Halloween time, it's a perfect opportunity to party at the Haunted Mansion. And also included in this contest is Cinderella's Castle. Check this out. Disney Parks kicked off a new contest that gives entrants a chance to win a private midnight at the Haunted Mansion party and an overnight stay in Cinderella Castle. Eric, one is better than the other, or are they both just as good on that?
Okay. Help me out here. Is this your choice, or is this...
You get both. You get both. It's not just one. It's not just the other. You get both.
God, we would be talking a pixie dust orgasm right there. I'm just going to call it right now.
Wow.
You get both of those?
I don't want that thought in my head. You said pixie dust orgasm, and
yeah, hashtag that, me hearties, I'm telling you. No, I've heard of these, I want to call them Tables of Wonderland events, where they'll have a dinner party inside an attraction. Like, they've done it with the Haunted Mansion. They've done it with the Great Movie Ride. I know they've done it with others. I just can't remember which ones. But it's sounding like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you're getting a private shindig just like that, private dinner party. And you have to pay like mucho dinero when they offer those.
Yeah, exactly. You're so right. Yeah.
Yeah, and dear God, to sleep in the castle, even for a night. God, I could not have a memory card big enough in my camera or my phone because I'm just going around click, 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 click. I am photographing
constant, clicks every 2 seconds as you go by. You don't even have to hit the button.
Yes, I am taking so many freaking pictures in there because this is like it's like the holy grail of Disney fans almost. The only way you could top that is if you get to spend the night in Walt's apartment over the fire station at Disneyland.
That would be the equivalent. Yeah, it would be. I agree with you 100%.
If you're asking which one is greater, I would definitely have to say the castle.
I'm surprised for you to say that, actually. For an opportunity to party inside of the Haunted Mansion? I mean, that doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't.
We didn't have, that span of time during the Year of a Million Dreams when they were giving away nights for free to a lucky visitor at Walt Disney World for a stay there in Cinderella Castle. But a party inside of the attraction? We don't see that very often at all.
No, we don't. I would still have to go with the castle, though, but simply because, first of all, it's going to last longer.
Yeah. But you're not... here's my problem with that. Yeah. I'm sleeping the majority of the time. Because by the end of the day, I'm exhausted, and I just want to go to sleep, so I spend 20, 30 minutes walking around the room, checking everything out, and I'm crashing. And that's it.
Are you telling me you are sleeping in Cinderella's castle, the icon of all things Disney, at least on the East Coast, where millions of people take pictures of this place where you are sleeping in, and you're just going to nod off and and snooze the whole way through?
I can only keep my eyes open for so long. To where I watched this movie the other night called Hours with Paul Walker.
Okay.
And it was about, he was living in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina, and his wife has a baby the day the storm shows up. She dies during the birth. She passes away.
Okay.
So Hurricane Katrina is bearing down on them, and the hospital evacuates. The hospital loses power, and the baby is on a ventilator. And all he has to keep the baby alive is a crank rechargeable battery that he has to crank every 2 minutes to keep his child alive. And he did that for over 40 hours, and the man could barely stand up. I'm talking about a full day at Walt Disney World. You've already done the party over at the Haunted Mansion, and you've had all this wonderful, exciting time. Eventually, you're going to run out of gas, and you're just going to pass out. It's going to happen.
I'm not saying that I could not sleep. I just say I probably would not sleep much.
I can understand not sleep much. That's fine. That's acceptable. But for me, I would love the opportunity to be involved in a party inside of the Haunted Mansion. I mean, that's just absolutely fantastic. Let me give you the specifics on this contest real quick. Okay?
Hey,
yes.
Just so you know, I've got a party in my pants, but you're not invited.
Oh my gosh! No.
Making sure the mic work. Is this thing on?
That's working. Yes, it is. Goodness gracious me!
Are you broadcasting from the bathroom, Aljon?
No.
Are you sitting on the throne?
What do you think we're in the bathroom?
I don't know, Eric. Why do you think you're in the bathroom?
I don't know. I was seeing the small image of it, and it almost looked like a toilet topper back there.
Oh, no.
No, those are movies.
Okay. Well, I see that now.
We watch movies in our toilet.
Well, hey, it's better than reading material, I'm telling you.
Yeah, right.
Welcome to my throne. We watch movies.
No, that's appropriate.
Okay. So here are the specifics on this contest that Disney's putting on. The Haunt Your Disney Side contest runs until November the 4th, and entrants need to submit a favorite Disney Parks themed Halloween photo from the following 4 categories. Now, this absolutely takes me out of the running, okay, because I'm not that creative when it comes to this stuff. The first category is home decor. Second is food and beverage. Third is pumpkin carving. And fourth is costumes. Each Monday, the Disney Parks blog will feature ideas to spark the public's creativity. The contest grand prize, of course, is a private Haunted Mansion party in the Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom, followed by, right after the party, an overnight stay in Cinderella Castle. Disney will also award 4 gift basket prizes, 1 for each of the contest themes. For more information on the contest and how to enter, please read the official rules, probably over there on the Disney Parks blog. Kristen and Aljon, what is a better prize to you? A stay in Cinderella Castle or the Haunted Mansion? Now, in this contest, you get both, but if you had to choose between the two, what would it be?
Kristen?
Jeez,
It's a tough choice.
that's a really hard one.
Dude, I would stay in the castle.
Okay.
I think I'd have
Both
to
is
go
awesome,
with the.
but-
I think I'd have to go with the castle because of the fact it actually has a bed and a nice bathroom, whereas the Haunted Mansion there's no toilet in the Haunted Mansion. And what do we sleep on?
You'd have to sleep on the Donald chair, or you'd have to take that zombie mummy out of the coffin and sleep in the coffin.
I
Or
don't
Goop Buggy.
think so.
You have to
I would
sleep
do that. That would actually be really cool. I like that idea.
on top of the piano.
Oh, wow. That's
Under the dinner
actually
table.
pretty good. Yeah. So,
The question is, how do you get down into that area?
You got a few hours to kill. You'll find a way.
well, I hope that they have at least, swept away and gotten rid of all the cobwebs
You
inside
mean
that
Ashley?
room. No, inside the Cinderella Castle room that you can sleep in.
Human remains.
I was thinking of the other. I was like, see, that's the other thing is you have no idea whose ashes you're sleeping with in there either.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, people do drop bodies in there after all.
In the Haunted Mansion.
But Cinderella's Castle, the suite there, is not used very often, if ever, practically since the Year of a Million Dreams. I mean, we just don't hear anything else about it anymore. So Hopefully,
You know
the
why?
cleaning crews. Why is that? Why?
Because the people who are rich enough to be able to afford a night in Cinderella Castle are also rich enough to bribe the cast members into keeping their mouths shut.
I agree with Eric on that one.
Absolutely. It's being used.
I wonder what the price tag would be, just once.
Hey, I wonder if
I don't know. If we win the lottery, we'll know.
if the Disney parks that George Kalogridis decided to invite the people from Canada and Norway to stay a few nights or a week in the Cinderella suite, maybe they would actually pay to update their entertainment over there at the World Showcase.
I don't know, but you know what? Disney wouldn't even have to pay me. They could allow me to stay in Cinderella's castle for free, and we could broadcast live from inside the castle.
Now, that would be awesome.
That would definitely.
That would be great Disney promotion, and we wouldn't even charge them for it.
Would you broadcast from Cinderella's bathroom?
Sure, why not?
Definitely. 100%. Yeah.
We'll broadcast from wherever the hell we please.
I would be sitting in front of the camera just like this. And just not even move and just be like I'm in deep thought.
We could do one of those 24-hour broadcasts from inside the castle.
Oh, I do it.
Yeah.
I do it in
Raise
heartbeat,
money
yeah.
for charity.
You hear that, Disney? We'll do it, Mr. Kalogridis. Give us the ball. We'll do it.
And
As Eric would do. Hey, dude. Hey, listen up. Hey. I think that 24 hours inside, not even 24 hours, just an opportunity to broadcast inside of the Haunted Mansion would be. See, mine specifically, that would be Spaceship Earth. If I were to broadcast inside of an attraction, I'd pick Spaceship Earth.
That would be cool.
Spaceship Earth is just my favorite attraction. I don't know why. In that park, I mean, it's number one on my list. Number two is the People Mover, but
Maybe you're part Phoenician.
Maybe he's part gone.
Wow, he just disappeared, didn't he?
Yeah.
Jeff just got,
that was weird.
Jeff got de-rezzed. We're still live, everybody.
That's the screwy thing is we're always talking about you and Kristen getting de-res, and
I know,
Jeff's
right?
the one that evaporates.
I know, right? Oh, I'm going to be...
I used to say Google was my best friend, but Google is not been nice to me lately.
After a little bit of a gremlin interruption, we are back once again with more Disney headline news. The faces look the same, but the clothes may be a little different. So,
We're positive that we do shower on occasion.
yeah, we took a little pause for the cause, and we paid some bills, and now we're back. Jeff Davis, continue on with more of your news there, buddy.
Okay, so we went through our Walt Disney World merchandise update, where you can find the retro Epcot Center stuff over there in Epcot specifically. I talked about that. And we pretty much wrapped up with the new contest for the Haunted Mansion Party and Cinderella Castle Stay. You know how we were talking about, would you rather do the Cinderella Stay or would you rather do the Haunted Mansion Party if you had to choose between the two? But the good thing about this is the fact that Disney is not just giving you one of the two, they are giving you both. You're going to get the Haunted Mansion Party. Who knows how long it's going to actually last. I'm sure some of the details are on the official parks blog. And then also, you get that stay in Cinderella Castle, which does not happen very often when it comes to contests for the Walt Disney World Resort, unless you go all the way back to what, I guess, maybe 2008, the year of a million dreams, when they were giving it away quite a bit. So what you need to do is read all the official rules and everything else, head over to the Disney Parks blog, and get those Disney Parks themed Halloween photos in. Now remember, there were 4 categories. There's home decor, food and beverage, pumpkin carving, and costumes. Now I know I wouldn't be any good at the pumpkin carving. I go sit there and we'll line everything out on the pumpkin, and I still can't cut it straight. So I'm out on that one. Food and beverage, though, I think I might actually do well if I were to do this contest, because I love my food and beverage. I'd leave home decor up to Kristen. She'd probably beat me 100% at that, so I'm not even going to try for that one. Costumes, Aljon, you're the costume person, so I don't win at that category either. So, oh, golly. I'm pretty much screwed when it comes to this contest, so I have no chance in hell of whatsoever winning. So I'm going to leave it all up to you guys. And
don't sell yourself short, Jeff.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Don't sell yourself short. I believe in your talents. I believe in you.
I do this right here. This is all I do. This is my talent. So right. Those are your top headlines from the Walt Disney World Resort this week on After Dark.
Wow, there's your talking head stories. I think that's what he meant to say.
That's what I probably
Thank you for all of those headlines. Let's move on. Kristen has got some food news. What up, girl?
Okay, so Cuisina by Cat Cora over at Disney's Boardwalk closed in September. And it was just announced that back in July that Trattoria al Forno was going to be going in its place. And this week, they have announced that that restaurant will open on December 18th. So just in time for those who are going to be there during Christmas. But they also released the menu as well. And the prices don't look too bad either. Some of the appetizers they have is shaved Italian cured meats with house pickled peppers, olives, things like that, to start off as an appetizer. And then they have the dish that I think looks really good is it has 2 ricotta cannolis topped with marinara and a giant meatball. I mean, this meatball looks like it's got to be that big, you know?
Nice.
Desserts, tiramisu, as well as there's a lemon panna cotta. So I do have on Dining at Disney. The entire menu is there, but it does sound really good. And they are going to be open for breakfast as well. We don't have the breakfast menu. They haven't released that yet, but it's going to be open from 7:30 to 11 for breakfast, and then 5 to 10 for dinner. It will accept the Disney dining plan. No word yet on whether Tables in Wonderland is going to be accepted.
Interesting. You know, I was curious. Does Walt Disney World Resort need another Italian restaurant? That's a lot of Italian restaurants on property, is it not?
Well, it all depends. Okay, so you have the ones in the Italy
I don't know. I mean,
you've got Tony's, which isn't very good.
Tell us how you really feel.
Downtown, you have Portobello. In the Swan, you have Il Molino. You have Mama Melrose at Studios.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many restaurants?
Over in Animal Kingdom.
Sure. Yeah. Well. Yeah. That's on the fringe. I mean,
you can never have too many meatballs, in my opinion. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you said meatballs.
That would be a hashtagable right there.
Yeah. Yeah. How about that? Nice. Well, let's hope that this food is good. Jeff, is this something you might be interested in checking out when you go to the... Well, actually, it won't be ready, will it, Kristen? It won't be ready.
No, 18th December.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to miss it just by a short amount of... But I would definitely, if it were there and open, but when I get there, I would definitely check it out. I love Italian. If you've ever seen me, you can tell I can love Italian. So.
I love it.
I love it. I love my noodles.
All right, Kristen. Well, that's interesting stuff. I mean, we'll see how well this does. I guess Cat Cora wasn't making the kind of money that they originally hoped for having a restaurant, a celebrity chef restaurant there. But we'll see. We'll follow that news closely.
We'll see how long this place lasts.
Right.
Do you think it was ultimately bad location for Cat Cora? That could have been it?
I don't know that it was a bad location, per se.
It was never a place that I thought appeared to be empty and that it needed to go. I really don't know why it's gone,
Maybe Disney just didn't want to be associated with a drunk driver because she did have that DUI, about a year and a half ago, I said, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
She did have some problems, so that could have been a factor as well, if you think about it.
Or it could be that Cat Cora has other things going on in life that she wanted to decide, and since it has her name on it, that she didn't have the time to make the visits she wanted for it to keep up her standards, and so maybe that's why it went. It was her call to do it, not anything Disney per se.
Well, she has started opening up restaurants in airports as of late. So,
you know who I think would be an interesting add to the Disney dining lineup at Walt Disney World, and that would be for Chef Ramsay to open up a. I think he would. I think he would open up a fantastic restaurant at the Walt Disney World Resort. I don't care where it will be, whether it be for downtown Disney, whether it be Epcot or on the boardwalk. It doesn't. I just have because he holds his standards extremely high, and that is the level that Disney dining tries to be with every single restaurant that they have. And I think he would stay true to what Disney wants, and he'd give them 150%, hands down.
Well, I don't know if Disney would want to be associated with a foul-mouthed British person. But then again, they have worked with some suspect actresses and actors in the past, Sarah Silverman to be one. So you just never know. But I will say this, Chef Ramsay's restaurants in Las Vegas are amazing. And when you look at Hell's Kitchen and you see his burger joint there, it's literally, you walk through a wall of flame in order to get in there. It's really bombastic, and it's really a cool experience. And I missed out on eating there this past year, but this winter I hope to make it to Chef Ramsay's finally and eat a burger over there. So
if Gordon Ramsay can work with kids, I think that he could work with Disney and open up a fantastic restaurant.
Well, he did work with the Muppets after all, so I mean there is
true.
There is a chance. I mean, him and the Swedish Chef, doing an epic food truck battle was probably one of my highlights from this year in terms of viral videos. So
yeah,
and I think it was one of Kristen's favorites too because they were talking about the meatballs. So that was pretty neat. But any other food news there for you, Kristen?
That's it. That's just the big news.
All right. Well, thank you. Don't forget, Kristen's books are out right now. If you want a dining guide to Epcot or the International Food and Wine Festival, look no further than diningatdisney.com and pick up those books today.
And if they buy them from the site, they can use a code because it's sold through eJunkie, and use a code to save $2.
Oh, what is the code? You want to tell our listeners?
The code is food and wine, and so then the book is only $9.99.
So is that food and wine one word, and the and is actually spelled A-N-D instead of the ampersand?
Yeah, food and wine spelled.
All right. Very good. Save money.
A-N-D-W-I-N-E.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Kristen. Appreciate that. Mr. Eric Allen, I know that New York Comic-Con news has come and gone. We're here to talk a little bit about some gaming news. I know you might have something in regards to a video game or two, right?
I do. Before I get into that, though, I would like to touch on a little something else.
Oh, sure.
You're familiar with Steam, I take it, I'm sure. You probably have your own account. How many games you got on that one?
Right now, I'm rolling 2 games. I got 2 games rolling on Steam. I've got Marvel Lego Superheroes, and Star Trek Online.
What is it? Deal. Did I miss the memo here? What is Steam? I don't even know what that is.
Steam is kind of like a clearinghouse for video games for like the PC, especially ones that are kind of older.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get, once they've had their life cycle on the retail shelves, this is where it's almost like an archive where you can go online and you can buy the games and you play them. It's almost cloud-based in a way. Mm-hmm. So I mean, Aljon's got his 2. I've got Blood Bowl, which is basically Lord of the Rings meets the NFL. Which don't think about that too hard. You might strain something. But anyway, you now have the opportunity to purchase one or more of over 20 games that Disney launched just back on the 6th. And, It's got a lot of titles. We got like Alice in Wonderland, Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree, Cars 2, Cars 2, Mater's Tall Tales, The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, Planes, Disney Princess, My Fairy Tale Adventure, Disney Fairies, Tinkerbell's Adventure, Tangled, Disney Universe, Brave the video game, Epic Mickey 2, G-Force, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, the video game, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, Princess and the Frog, Pure Split Second, Toy Story 3, the video game. See, that's what I'm talking about with older games because it's been a while. Toy Story Mania, the console version, and Tron Evolution. So you can go onto Steam. Basically, you go onto store.steampowered.com and then search for sale and then Disney launch sale. Oh, wait a minute. You can't search for Disney launch sale because the sale's over with. But you can still get these.
Yeah, I think one thing about Steam is the community. It's basically like Facebook for gamers, and it's a really cool way to get your friends involved and to get really quality games for not a whole lot of money. So there's all kinds of deals that go out, and there's also a lot of really cool indie games that are out there too. So no matter what computer, what device you're on, you can log on to your Steam account and play from whatever computer is around, which is neat. So the fact that Disney Interactive is launching all those games is going to be a really cool value for a lot of people. So
are they extreme, like discounted prices that these games are at that you can get them pretty cheap?
They're definitely cheaper than they were on the retail shelves.
Oh, no
and it depends on which game it is and how old it is.
Does it spread across the consoles as well, as far as Sony and Xbox, or?
This is mainly for PC games.
PC, okay.
Yeah, it is mainly for PC, but I believe that there are some of the more, I guess, futuristic style, web-based, cloud-based gaming consoles that are allowing people to log into Steam that are not part of the big three, the big trinity, which is Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo.
Yeah.
If you have one of those futuristic style of Kickstarter systems that are up there, where you can, it's basically like a Roku box, a small Roku box that you can take with you, and it's a console, which is kind of neat.
Sure, yeah.
But anyway, I think those are also available to play on Steam. But
and you can get these as package deals as well. I was on there not too long ago. It was over the course of the weekend, and they do have some that are it's like bundle deals, like the action pack or the racing pack, which would be like Pure and Split Second. So you could get combo deals like that. However, moving on to the New York Comic Con and the shenanigans therein as they pertain to video games. When was the last time y'all went to an arcade, gentlemen and lady? Just out of curiosity.
Wow.
Last time we were downtown Disney, Kristen. This is the last time we went into an arcade.
That doesn't really count, I don't think.
Last time we went you and I actually went into the arcade over at the Pop Century, right? And we spent our tokens, right?
Yeah, but again, does that really count?
It's an arcade.
It is an arcade.
We're in there for like 5 minutes to play skee ball, and that's it.
I think the extent of mine has been maybe Chuck E. Cheese about a year ago, and that was it.
They still have arcades in Chuck E. Cheese?
They do, yeah. They still have all of those games to choose from for the kids to play, and adults too, like me.
I remember when they had the machines that would blow up balloons. Like, you would pay for them. Anybody remember that?
Mm-mm.
Not really, no.
Apparently not.
No. Don't remember it.
You're on your own, Kristen.
Well,
maybe it was
during
cheese I went.
During New York Comic Con, this did not happen actually at the convention, but rather nearby at, I believe, the Dave & Buster's in New York. Bandai Namco, I think that is the name of the company, right? Yes.
Yeah.
All right. They have released what some people are calling the beginning of an arcade revival with the Star Wars Battle Pod arcade game. And basically what this is, it's like it's a very miniature version of Soarin', where they crank you out over an IMAX dome and you watch a movie. Well, in this, it's an arcade game. It's an enclosed bubble, or as they say, the battle pod, and you sit in front of a small, it's still large, but by IMAX dome considerations, it's rather tiny. A dome screen where is projected the game, and it's a piloting game. It's it has different scenarios, levels from the various Star Wars movies. Like, yes, there is a Death Star trench run. There's also a speeder bike chase through Endor. You get the idea. But it is surrounded. It fills your entire field of view.
Wow.
And you have, of course, stereo surround sound with low-frequency vibrating speakers in the seats. So when there is an explosion nearby, you hear it, you see it, and you feel it.
Your ass moves.
Yes.
Good way to put it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hashtag your ass moves.
Yeah. And one thing that is unusual about this is that the company is releasing this in early 2015 in the U.S. before the rest of the world. What's wrong? What's weird about that is that usually it's the other way around, particularly in Japan, because the arcade culture is still very much alive and well over there. So what usually happens is, oh, well, we've got these new games, and they still do release several arcade games per year. They just do it over there, and very few ever get trickled down back over here. This is what's unusual. They were releasing it here first, and like I said, there are some people out there saying we could be in for an arcade revival. Mainly because if this proves to be a hit, then you're going to see other people doing the immersive experience. And that's really where you're seeing the arcade games that are successful. They're going now. Because you have the rise of the console. You have somebody says, well, why would I go out to this arcade and spend all my tokens on this when I can either go onto Steam and download one of the Disney games, or I can go to my PlayStation or Xbox and just pop a disc in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they're going now. And if you go to Disney Quest, you'll see more of these, like the Star Wars Pod Racer. It is more of, and it's not this immersive, but it is the large set. You do sit in, you've got the big screen in front of you. It feels more like you're actually doing it than you are just hitting the controls. You hate this, don't you?
I hate this. I really hate this with a passion.
Why?
Maybe it's because I'm a console player, hands down. But and when Eric says something about it, an arcade-like revival, a reintroduction of what arcade games is, I don't think that this Star Wars game is going to get the attention it really deserves, being at just places like Dave & Buster's or the very few Disney Quest locations that you have to choose from. I don't think it's going to get the attention that it needs, being in places like this. If they had done something like this on console, I think it would have been a fantastic hit, because people are begging and pleading, and they're asking and wanting a new Star Wars type of video game to play. And a lot of people are tired of waiting up for Star Wars Battlefront. A lot of people were upset about the whole 1313, type deal that they were developing and decided to get rid of. So gamers are asking, yes, please. The Force Unleashed is great, and it had its time. It's moved on, but we're wanting more. Give us more. Give us more. So now you're taking this fantastic. It's not a classic game, but it goes along with the classic type of feel of what we used to play back in the 80s when it came to Star Wars. You just had the simplest of graphics on the screen, but it was so much fun to play. And to have these different locations, Naboo, Tatooine, the Death Star, probably some other locations as well, and to have those to be able to play at your house, to play at home, I think they would have a better chance of making more money off of that type of technology. Not that the fact that you're immersed into the game and you're surrounded by the game, not that that isn't a fantastic idea and a great way to play a game. Yes, but I think if they gave you a console version of the game, they would do very well on sales. Very, very well. Because then you're getting into, and I may sound like a person who repeats himself a lot when it comes to video games, but multiplayer on something like that, on that type of a stage for Star Wars, like what Star Wars Battlefront is going to be, would be absolutely fantastic. You've got X-Wings and TIE fighters against each other just going at it, team deathmatch type style, you're defending the Death Star or whatever. I mean, that's just how I am. I'm just a console gamer. I'm not a PC gamer, I'm a console gamer. But,
who says they won't do it?
Yeah, who says they won't do it? I mean, that's absolutely true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
I think the coolest thing that could happen is that if it does catch wind here, that it actually will bring more people to arcades like Dave & Buster's in Splitsville and Downtown Disney, and get them to make more money. And I'm all about arcades and people getting more money, because I think eventually it will, have to come to a console if it takes off the way it should. Yeah. Regardless, it was developed for, I have to think that it was really developed for a market that the U.S. is really not into. Japanese culture is into everything. They're into arcades and home video game systems. That's all that, that's what they love to do over there. And the game itself looks pretty rad. I mean, I'll be honest. It is all about the experience, and there's something that if you're developing for a particular experience to get more people through the doors of arcades, it's something you can't replicate at home, then it will have, gamers like you and me and Eric and even Kristen out there going, hey, you know what, this is cool. This is something more immersive, and it's something that I would get out of my house to try just to see if I'm any good at it, just to see what this experience is all about.
Oh, definitely. I think that if, like, for instance, if Chuck E. Cheese decided to put this game into their restaurant, I'm going to be eating a crap load of pizza because I'm going to be wanting to play this game so damn much.
You're going to eat so much shit pizza, it's going to be horrible.
Exactly.
You're going to eat shit pizza and drink crap beers, so they do serve beer at Chuck E. Cheese, right? And
they have to. The salad bar is pretty good. The salad bar is not bad.
Okay.
And you're right, definitely. When they put this stuff in like Dave & Buster's or Splitsville or Downtown Disney or wherever it's going to be, they're not only getting money back, for the people who are going to be spending money to play the game, but the retail locations also that are, have that inside of their establishment is going to be getting business as well. Downtown Disney will be getting it, Chuck E. Cheese will be getting it, or heaven forbid for us to actually see just more locally owned type businesses if this is a reintroduction into arcade games popping up in little towns here and there, and then bigger buildings coming, stuff like that. So
that's a point. And if you remember back in the day, it wasn't just dedicated arcades.
Yeah,
like what you see in Wreck-It Ralph, or the not even the Dave & Buster's. These were, you saw restaurants that had some arcade games in there, like your Walmarts and your Kmarts. They had, and some still do, they have a little section where you have arcade games. You put one of these in there, boom, and you might have. Of course, we don't know what the price is on this yet, which that won't come out till early next year. But if you see like a local, like a Chuck E. Cheese or a Pizza Hut, or some other place that says, hey, we want a hook here.
Bowling alleys,
Yeah, a bowling alley. Just anywhere that wants to put this in. I think you see, first of all, you have Star Wars plastered on it in big yellow letters. That's going to get attention.
Definitely, yeah.
Then you see, the kids come in, they start playing, and then word of mouth is going to be like, holy crap, this is a reason to go to Walmart now. So,
corn dogs and Star Wars, not a bad combination.
Exactly right. The game looks really cool, Eric, and I don't think the YouTube videos the links that I might link this particular show and podcast to, I don't think it's going to do it justice because
I don't think it does either.
Right.
Because first of all, you don't see the immersive video. Now you can see the graphics, and the graphics are top notch.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
But I think to really see this, you're going to need to see the machine itself, the game itself, the cabinet with the wraparound screen, and just see somebody actually playing it.
I'll tell you what, man, I really enjoyed Wreck-It Ralph at the D23 Expo. I played that. That was a lot of fun. So I'm sure that, and that was all about the Super Mario experience, the Donkey Kong experience. So I'm sure that this Star Wars game, with all its bells and whistles, is definitely going to be a big hit when it comes out. And of course, the timing couldn't be more perfect with the Episode 7 right around the corner. So
That's true.
that should be really awesome stuff, Eric. Very cool. And, well, thank you for that. I think that pretty much wraps that up. We've got some Comic-Con news here, guys and gal. And for those of you keeping score at home, New York Comic-Con is the second largest convention for geekdom and pop culture around. It's second only to San Diego Comic-Con. And we had our very own Dan Barnes try to hook up with us and had some bandwidth issues. But I tell you what, man, it was a huge, huge convention. And some of the big news announcements actually came from the House of Ideas, Marvel. And Marvel and the Netflix series Daredevil actually had a big cast reveal during that time. Of course, we were there, and I will be attaching some video, maybe in audio of this, hopefully, to the end of this podcast. But Marvel and New York Comic-Con announced that the fans of this year will get to experience the first cast sighting of the Netflix original series, Marvel's Daredevil. In addition, the fans will also get a look at Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and what's next for Marvel Animation, and a spotlight on Marvel's Hulk and Agents of Smash. So, of course, Marvel's Daredevil was a partnership between Marvel Television and Netflix in the state of New York, and all of the television series that are going to be aired through Netflix. Nick Cage, Daredevil, Angelica Jones, and I'm missing one?
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist, yes, there you go. And then, of course, the cast movie, The Defenders, will all be filmed in New York. And this alliance with Marvel and the city of New York is one of the, I guess, landmark productions that will be going on, creating 3,000 jobs and nearly 60 hours of television for Marvel fans worldwide, which is going to be really, really cool. So part of that was the big cast reveal, and we had here, let's see, Marvel and Netflix's acclaimed talents, Alet Zur, Bob Gunto, Toby Moore, and Valdy Curtis Hall have joined Marvel's Daredevil in an all-new 13-episode series debuting on Netflix in 2015. Known for blockbuster films such as Man of Steel and Angels and Demons, Alet Zur will play Vanessa Mariana, an art dealer who has a chance meeting with Wilson Fisk and dramatically changes her life. Let's see, Emmy Award-winning nominated actor for his work in ER and Chicago Hope, Vonnie Curtis Hall will play Ben Urich, an investigative journalist for the New York Bulletin who will soon find himself drawn into a war into the soul of Hell's Kitchen. That's where Daredevil lives.
So why is this... Wait a minute. Why is Ben Urich not working for the Daily Bugle?
I wonder why. Maybe it's because Sony.
Curse you, Sony!
Yeah, Sony owns a Daily Bugle. Yep. No Spider-Man references here. So he works for the New York Bulletin. Garnering acclaim for nuanced work projects in the Pacific and John Wick, Toby Leonard Moore will be playing the right-hand man of the and confidant to Wilson Fisk. Veteran broadcaster film Shawshank Redemption and Argo, Bob Gunton will play Leland Owlsley, an enigmatic key figure in Wilson Fisk's crusade to remake Hell's Kitchen. And these four stars join Charlie Cox, who plays Matt Murdock, of course, Daredevil, Deborah Allen Wool, who plays Karen Page, Eldon Henson, who plays Foggy Nelson, and Alet Zur, who plays Vanessa Mariana, and Rosaria Dawson. You may know Rosaria Dawson from
Men in Black 2.
Men in Black, yep. And Rosaria was also in Clerks, too. And she is Claire Temple, and Vincent D'Onofrio, which Kristen loves from playing what is it, Law and Order? What was that? Law and Order. I'm trying to remember his Law and Order. Criminal Intent.
I'm not a big fan of his. There's something weird about him.
Really? You did? I thought you liked him. I like Vincent D'Onofrio. He plays Wilkinson Fisk, currently lauded cast of Daredevil. So really cool. Now, quote, "These are 4 of the most important roles in Marvel's Daredevil. We've assembled actors worthy of each iconic role," says Jeff Loeb, Marvel's head of TV. Ayelet, Bob, Vondi, and Toby each bring a unique charisma and power to the roles, making it immediately clear why each of their characters is so vital to the war for Hell's Kitchen. And if you don't know, Marvel's Daredevil will follow Matt Murdock, who was blind as a young boy, but imbued with extraordinary senses, now fights against injustice by day and as by night. He is the superhero Daredevil in what is modern-day Hell's Kitchen in New York. So he's fighting the good fight. So, of course, the showrunner is Stephen S. DeKnight, who was a showrunner for Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. Drew Goddard, who helped movies like Cabin in the Woods and Lost Buffy and the Vampire Slayer. And, of course, Jeff Loeb, head of Marvel TV. You know him from his work on Smallville, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and one of my favorite shows, Heroes. So there you go. So that's the latest on Marvel's Daredevil series. The cast is looking really, really good. So looking forward to that. Now, how about this? Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvel Animation just dropped a bomb on people because, you know, they were looking into, you know, showing people off more Marvel's Avengers Assemble and Marvel's Agents of Smash on Disney XD. Well, they've got a new cartoon that's going to be coming out next year that happens to focus on the Guardians of the Galaxy, and let me tell you, it looks amazing. You saw a film, I guess, a film test footage of Rocket Raccoon running around the streets of New York alongside Star-Lord, it looked like, and people were amazed and wowed, and the animation looks great, and it's all going to take part in the Marvel Animated Cinematic Universe, however you want to call it, the animated universe. So it's going to also be joining Hulk and the Agents of Smash, Marvel's Avengers Assemble, and Hulk and the Agents of Smash for more animation Saturday mornings on Disney XD. So the cartoons are coming to life, and it looks really cool. Yes, Eric.
And let's just remember, Guardians of the Galaxy was considered a junk team in the comics.
Yes.
Think about this.
Yes.
Just a third-rate team, a bunch of losers who couldn't even carry their own comic book series. Now they are freaking gold. They
are golden. You know, look at the comic book teams that have made it. You know, DC had Justice League, okay, and they're marquee heroes, but Marvel was really known for their team-ups, really known for their superhero squads. And that's why the Avengers and X-Men, the Fantastic Four, those teams were so marquee. And, of course, since, you know, Marvel doesn't have the rights to every superhero squad out there, you have secondary teams like Alpha Flight and the Defenders and, you know, coming to fruition. But then you have Guardians of the Galaxy, which, for me, I'm like, really? Guardians? They're going to make a movie out of Guardians? And now look at it. It's so popular.
I was interested in it at the beginning, but mainly because I was more familiar with the original lineup, which, of course, it's not that easy to convey that group unless you just want to say, you know, screw it, we're doing a new dimension, new reality, and let's have Yondu basically being the southern redneck of the galaxy. Just, I was intrigued about it because I didn't know much about these people, but I don't think we can deny that this is probably, with the exception of Avengers, these are the golden kids of Marvel right now.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's something so cool that, you know, very Star Wars-like about it. It's got a lot of fun humor. Mm-hmm. It doesn't take itself very seriously, and I think that's the great thing about this entire situation, which is really, really cool. I mean, it's a great squad. So I'm looking forward to seeing that animation happen on Disney XD as they're growing. You know, they've got the Star Wars thing, Star Wars Rebels going on, all kinds of great projects. So Disney XD being the station for us big kids at heart to watch. So good stuff indeed. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they were able to get a look at some of the cool stuff going on. Of course, coming this week, Mockingbird, there was a lot of rumors and such that Mockingbird would be joining the team of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she indeed will. It's going to be happening this week, Tuesday. Fans will finally get to see Adrian Pilecki as Bobby Morse, a.k.a. Mockingbird, in next Tuesday's all-new episode of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But if you can't wait until then, they've got her introduction in an all-new clip from the episode right there at Marvel.com. With the stakes scoring higher for the undercover agent Simmons, the appearance of Bobby Morse as Hydra's head of security can only spell trouble, but you'll have to tune in Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on ABC to see what happens next. So, once again, don't forget to follow Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Twitter and like them on Facebook for all the latest in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So that is what's going on. That's really cool. It's coming to Disney XD. You've got the Marvel Netflix thing going on. But how about this? People are talking about Once Upon a Time on ABC, and here's a few secrets that will be that they spilled. And if you don't want to be spoiled, you might want to skip over this for the next minute or two. All right. So for those of you who watches Once Upon a Time besides Kristen and myself, Jeff, Eric,
I definitely watch it. Yes.
Okay. Do you want to hear this or not? Should I just tease people with it?
It's not going to spoil it for me because I don't watch it.
Okay. I know how Jeff is. He's very sensitive to spoilers.
I am very sensitive to it, yes.
Okay. Well, they did have a panel there at New York Comic Con.
Go for it, man.
Okay, so here you go. Hook and Emma's relationship is going to the next level. I think we all seen that happen.
Yes.
And this is actually reported through Mashable. So though Emma has been hot and cold with Hook all season, they're about to pass a big relationship milestone, a real date that's coming up. And it won't be at Granny's. It's going to be sometime soon. It's going to be by Emma, so get caught up and all this stuff because it looks like Hook and Emma are finally going to
hook up.
I don't know. They're going to hook up. I was trying to be sensitive here. I wasn't trying to be. I was trying to be very sensitive. How about this one? There's going to be Rumpelstiltskin versus Hook showdown this season.
Ooh,
so there's going to be a little bit of a rumble with Rumple, and it's going to be happening. And so there's going to be some episodes where the shift is going to focus less on Frozen and more on the Rumple Hook relationship.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah. You know what? I'm not, let's lean away from Frozen for a minute, okay? I'm just over it.
I'm ready to thaw. Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest. I like the actors that are playing those roles on Once Upon a Time. I think it's really cool. Cool. But yeah, I'm over Frozen. How about this? Gina and Emma will start connecting more. Okay, they're not getting together so much to Swan Queen fans, but Henry's moms will be exploring their friendship this season, and they're going to be trying to figure out how she can get her quote-unquote happy ending. So how about this? The Frozen action isn't going to stray very far from the movie. Producer Horowitz explained that they didn't want to reinvent something that was so amazing to begin with when it came to Frozen, and creator Kiddis said that they're not going to think about what the Frozen sequel would have been. Instead, they're going to focus on other characters like the Snow Queen and her relationship to Emma. Yeah. So this season will actually focus on finding the author of the book, and that'll tie into the relationship between the Evil Queen and Emma and their relationship deepening over the season. Rumpelstiltskin and Belle's separate storylines are totally different. As expected, Rumple won't exactly be honest this season. Everything he's doing is for a reason, and that reason is for the benefit of himself. Kiddis teased Mr. Gold's relationship with the Snow Queen this season, and that's something that's going to be explored. And on the flip side, we'll see flashbacks of Belle with her mom, played by Frances O'Connor, and why Belle became a hero and wanted to be a hero. So that's going to be interesting.
Okay.
Snow and Charming's roles will be upped this season. There are really some good twists coming, and they're simply enjoying the Parenthood run. But of course, that means the characters will be getting back into action after the dust settles. So that probably will happen in the second part of the season. Elsa and the Snow Queen have quite a past. Okay, duh. I'm not going to read that paragraph because I'm sure we can figure that out. Now, here's something that Frozen fans will maybe not be happy with. Horowitz and Kittis have said before the lovable snowman Olaf won't be on Once Upon a Time.
Thank God.
I won't be seeing Olaf. He may be obliquely referred to, but I think we won't see him, Horowitz says, but we'll be meeting other people from Frozen. Now, it's known that in Storybrooke, other characters have been known to make appearances, like Jiminy Cricket in human form, but or Pinocchio for that matter. Right. So it's interesting to me that they wouldn't have Olaf as some type of human, but maybe that'll be confusing for children. I don't know.
Well, I don't think it was over the line, when they did bring, the snow monster in. I think that was, definitely a show of, Elsa and her powers and everything else, that is involved when it comes to Frozen. But as I don't want to say it's a comic twist if you throw Olaf into it, but if you're going to include Frozen in the whole Storybrooke type of feel when it comes to Once Upon a Time, I honestly would have thought that he would have been a nice addition in small bits. I don't think he would have any type of a major role, but at least one cameo with Olaf, just something, even if it's from, one of the flashbacks. Once Upon a Time is known for its flashbacks, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
You're always looking back, looking at something. Why not have Olaf in one of the flashbacks? It doesn't have to be in Storybrooke.
Well, that's true, and who knows? Maybe they'll revisit that along the way. But at least Whitney recorded all that information from New York Comic Con for Mashable. So thank you for posting that. We appreciate it.
Maybe they're just not telling us.
I don't know. But what I will say what people are happy and excited about, and oh my gosh, they were happy about Big Hero 6, the big panels for Big Hero 6 and Tomorrowland, and Dan was there. And we do have clips of this in the press conference that I will be attaching to this program, so you can hear it all for yourself. Big Hero 6 had moderation by the Talking Dead's Chris Hardwick. He came out there, and of course joining him on stage were directors Don Hall and Chris Williams and producer Roy Contley, and they were able to show several clips from Big Hero 6, and all the stars were there as well, and the response from the crowd was just absolutely amazing, and and it was great. So, but I tell you, that wasn't the piece de resistance, of course. Tomorrowland was also a huge part of this show. Brad Bird, you might know him from John Carter, also the man behind The Incredibles. Damon Lindelof was there as well from Lost. Of course, they are the duo that are putting together this movie called Tomorrowland. And the trailer, it was amazing. And not only was the cast there, but there was a huge pop or a sound of applause for the cast. Hugh Laurie from House is going to play a huge role in the film. Raffi Cassidy, Britt Robertson, but the big surprise of the Comic-Con was George Clooney. George Clooney came out and had a great blast with Hugh Laurie, and had a few words for the microphones there that we were able to capture, which we will be adding on to the end of this show. We do have the video clips on JediMusketeer.com, so I encourage everyone to check out those clips, and you will hear that audio attached to the end of this show in regards to that. So,
and it was interesting with George Clooney, Aljon, because he was on his honeymoon while that Comic-Con was going on.
Yeah, how about that?
So I think that's a fantastic thing for him to show up for that. That was great.
Yeah, that's right. So, he did get a huge pop from the crowd, and not only did they hear and see the clip and were able to talk and interact with the actors, but they also played, I believe, like the first 10 minutes of the movie. So,
oh wow,
very, very cool stuff that Dan was able to witness there for the show. And I'm glad he was able to do his report in to Mighty Marvel Geeks. He was able to do a report for WDW Tiki Room on Sorcerer Radio on our perspective shows. So that was really neat. So that is that. Now we've got one last bit of news for Disney park fans and collectors. Thomas Scott from the Disney Design Group was able to show off all the great Marvel Vinylmations there at the Marvel booth. Our friends over there, Ryan Panagos, Agent M, was there from Marvel.com, and he was there with Ben Morris, editor of Marvel.com, and Thomas showed off all the great park stuff that's coming to Disney Parks, and you can purchase it through Dining at Disney, actually, I believe right now, through the Disney Parks Disney Store link, which is great. You can purchase that stuff. But in this wave, you're going to see a bunch of great stuff. I think Spider-Man is a big part of this. You're going to see Iron Man, the Avengers Iron Man, new Marvel. You'll see Iron Patriot and a War Machine double pack. You'll see a chase figure of Peter Parker with half of his head in Spider-Man sense coming out, which is really neat. You'll see, let's see, Electro. You'll see Kang the Conqueror, Mary Jane, Watson. Looks like Rhino, Venom, Dr. Connors, which is the Lizard, Kraven the Hunter, Black Cat, I believe, and did I say Mysterio? So you're going to see a lot of those Spider-Man-based Vinylmations hitting the parks come right after January, or right around January, rather. So if you're fans of that, please check that out. Oh, and there's also an Ant-Man just for Jeff Davis as well. So yeah, they've got an Ant-Man coming out.
Ant-Man.
So for more information on Marvel Vinylmations, please check out Marvel.com, and hopefully we'll have that footage up on Source Radio and on the Jedi Mouseketeer site as well. It's been so much news to cover with New York Comic Con. So much good stuff going on in terms of Disney and games, and of course there's a lot of Star Wars comics and stuff that are coming around as well, and hopefully we'll have all that posted on our website soon. So anyway, that is it really in a nutshell of New York Comic Con. I tried to distill it down for everybody, but I think you guys are going to like the red carpet footage from backstage of everyone talking about how much of a Disney fan they are. You'll really dig the interviews with Big Hero 6 and the cast from Big Hero 6 as well as Tomorrowland. And I was not necessarily looking forward to Tomorrowland and watching that film, but after seeing the trailer and seeing how the actors, like, because I'm a big House fan. I like House. Kristen got me into watching House, and I like Hugh Laurie a lot. And Hugh Laurie and George Clooney, that team seems to have a little bit of chemistry for me.
No, Hugh Laurie was in the live-action version of 101 Dalmatians, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, Hugh Laurie's got a Disney connection, which is pretty neat.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't any major news as far as new Iron Man or Captain America movies announced? Nothing?
Nope. During that week, there were a lot of rumors, things that we had planned on discussing on this program, but they are just rumors. One of the big rumors, I believe Eric had brought to my attention, was the fact that Robert Downey was supposedly in talks to be in Avengers 4, which was quite interesting. And also, not just Avengers 4, but also America, the next Captain America. Right now, his contract is supposed to be for the next Avengers, the Avengers 2 and Avengers 3. And we also know, or have heard a rumor, that the Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, will be split into 2 films instead of simply 1. So we may see one come out in May, and the other one come out next May. And so that'll be very interesting to see how if that is actually going to be the case. So.
Well, I mean, the closest thing that you're going to get to a combination of Captain America and Iron Man is the latest CG movie that Marvel put out maybe, a month ago, if more, with Red Skull, Captain America, and Iron Man, and also, what's the guy? He mimics all the moves of all the other people. Taskmaster, thank you, yes. Which I actually started watching on Netflix, and that's good. The animation's not bad on it, but if that's the case, and that's the closest thing you're going to get to just the two of them being in a movie together without it being Robert Downey Jr. and others, included in that. I'm still waiting, though, myself, and me and Eric had talked about this, is another Hulk movie. You just can't tell me that the Hulk just disappears up until the next time the Avengers call on him.
Well, there are rumors, Jeff, and I know that you all talked about this when Kristen and I were not on the show, but
we talk about a lot of stuff when you're not on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah, we do.
There are actually, well, that's good. You got to have something to talk about. There are actually rumors that the Hulk would join Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in some fashion. There are rumors that Hulk would actually be joining the Guardians of the Galaxy for a Planet Hulk type of scenario where he gets launched into space.
Wow.
And along with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So that might be interesting and another way to kind of bring an Avenger on board another successful franchise to get more face time.
Yeah.
And it hasn't, right now the Hulk is doing so much, but what I believe will be the future of the Hulk will be with the Hulk gaining that Bruce Banner mentality and becoming less of a Hulk smash and actually having more of a vocal role.
He's going to be the Peter David written Professor Hulk.
Professor Hulk, exactly right.
Yeah,
Peter
yeah.
David, by the way, one of my favorite writers.
That was one of my favorite runs of any comic book. Period is when Peter David was writing for the Hulk, and he had a beat on him, and is like he nailed him. Because he treated him more as he did not treat him as Hulk smash, but rather a man who's been through a lot and is trying to come to terms with his more violent side of his personality.
Mm-hmm. Well, I believe you're going to love the Indestructible Hulk series for Marvel now because the Hulk is being treated as that, very much like a Peter David style Hulk, and very much on par with Tony Stark. In fact, the two of them have a race of who's going to develop the best technology first, and Bruce Banner right now challenges himself to put out a new miracle type of a gizmo every single week. And when he's not doing that, he's working as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., developing S.H.I.E.L.D. tech and going into the field where needed and hulking out wherever S.H.I.E.L.D. needs him. So I think that'll be very important. I think if they do decide to continue with Hulk, and I think I would love to see a new Hulk film. I feel like you guys do.
Yeah. We didn't just see it when it comes to the Avengers, and let's take into consideration the past two Hulk movies that have come out, and literally the different personalities that each Hulk character had. But in the Avengers, we not only saw the Hulk smash part, we saw the Hulk who had a sense of humor, or the Hulk who could follow an order. Just go out there and beat shit up. Basically,
yeah, exactly.
Hands down. And for them not to give Bruce or give the Hulk, a voice, whether it be via a TV show or something else, is a real loss, in my opinion, for Marvel. I think they really need to expand on the character and give him a voice and tie him in with a few different things. It can only go, in the right direction from there. If I think they were to do that. So
yeah, I think I don't even count the Ang Lee version of Hulk. I hated that Hulk. I really did. I really hated it. I did like the Ed Norton Hulk. That was really the start of, part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and that character that we know today. So I think if the right story comes around, they will attack the Hulk with everything they have, because the Hulk is a great character.
Yeah, and I would love to see once you say you'll put him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I would love to see him with Fitz and Mac just in the lab. That I think would be a great dynamic. And plus, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but wasn't General Talbot, wasn't he originally a Hulk character?
Yes. General Talbot was one of the people searching for the Hulk. So something
that would be a great tie-in right there.
Well, that's when I saw him being casted for that character. The first thing on my mind is, here comes the Hulk. Because that's just a precursor to things. And of course, this past season, they alluded to, in the Cellist episode, they alluded to that gamma light being created by Dr. Banner. And I was thinking to myself, perfect. This is all going to fall into place, and we're going to see, hopefully Mark Ruffalo show up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which would be an awesome cameo. Wouldn't it be great, Kristen? Because you love Mark Ruffalo. He's a great actor.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked him in 13 going on 30.
Yes, where you saw David Banner and Elektra dance together. Michael Jackson, which was awesome. I love Jennifer Garner. I did not like Elektra, but I like Jennifer Garner, and she is a huge Disney girl, so that'd be interesting to see. But I tell you, right now, the real big rumors for Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Hulk is kind of on the back burner, but the big rumor that's going around now, and this is kind of outside of our Disney headline news, because this is all conjecture, of course, but is Sony actually going to let Spider-Man mingle with the Marvel Cinematic Universe that Disney owns? And
it's a win-win for Sony, and they'd have to be stupid to turn it down.
That's true. What I would like to see from Sony is a better effort, and maybe have them turn over some of the story reins to people and license Spider-Man, so that every story is part of a consistent universe. The storytelling is so important, and I'll be honest, I have not seen the new Spider-Man yet. After me promoting it, I've been waiting. Kristen's not a big fan of Spider-Man, so
Not at all.
I haven't seen it. I did see the X-Men, but I haven't seen the new Spider-Man. So, what do you think?
I've got to be honest with you, Aljon. To watch the latest Amazing Spider-Man film, and it to be New York, and after everything that happened in New York, all the events that happened during the Avengers in New York, to see no reference to that, no nothing, no Easter egg, no nothing, was really hard to swallow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because they don't play in the same universe right now.
Nothing. And you would think that with its Marvel, that it's almost two alternate realities. In one reality, it's just Spider-Man, and in the other reality, it's the Avengers. The two literally just do not cross paths in any way, shape, or form.
Now, something my son showed me just earlier today. They do cross over in Infinity, because he was flying around in the Spider-Man playset, and he said, "Dad, come look at it," and it's Avengers Tower.
Yes.
I mean, you can't visit it, but it's there.
But it's there. Yeah.
But that would have been a beautiful Easter egg right there, what you're talking about, Jeff.
Yeah, because with all the different scenes, and I do mean high-flying scenes that you get with the Amazing Spider-Man 2, you would have thought with all the buildings and structures and skylines that you would see throughout New York when you're watching this film, that you would see that specific building, and you never do. Nothing.
And you don't, and that's because the two universes at this point do not mix.
Yep.
And that's because of the licensing that they did when Marvel was on the brink of bankruptcy, licensing that out to Sony and starting the whole Tobey Maguire, trilogy, and into this new universe. I mean, and who knows? I mean, they could retcon it, saying that the events of Spider-Man actually predate the Avengers. But who's to say? Who's to say what's going to happen? All I can say is I really do hope that maybe when, it's all said and done, after this trilogy of new Spidey films, that they do relinquish the rights, or they do a licensing deal where Marvel will take hold of that, and they'll shovel money toward Sony.
Yeah.
Just like they shoveled money toward Fox, and they shoveled money toward Paramount for Iron Man, and they don't have to do a damn thing. It's all about Disney, and then they're going to make money hand over fist.
Yeah.
And I really do hope, I hope that Fox screws up. I really do. I hope Fox screws up, and they said, screw it, we're not going to make any more X-Men films, and we're not going to make any more Fantastic Four debaucheries, and everything will come back to Marvel where it belongs. So. That's just me. But right now everything's leaning toward maybe signing an extension on his contract to appear in Captain America and Avengers 4. And if that does happen, the big rumor is that the superheroes will go to war with one another in a classic retelling of Civil War.
I still don't think that's going to happen yet.
I don't either, but
I think you have to have the mutants, and they just won't.
Yeah,
It's
you
just,
never know.
Yeah,
You never know. I want everybody to play in the same universe, I really do. But, there is so much speculation, only time will tell. Just
Sure.
like only time will tell whether or not Star Wars Land is actually going to happen, or the third Q for Toy Stories. So only time will tell.
Yeah.
And only time will tell. Time is of the essence. And time is like a beast that stalks you, as Michael McDowell would say. And having said that, we have just a few minutes to wrap things up. Thanks for letting me ramble on and on about New York Comic Con. Once again, we would love for you to interact with us at WDW After Dark Webcast on Facebook, at WDW After Dark on Twitter. Gentlemen, who wants to take first? Where can people reach you, Mr. Eric Allen?
People can reach me at sorcom at srsounds.com. Can also reach me on Twitter at sorcomreview, on Facebook at facebook.com/sorcomreview, and also in the Sorcerer Radio Disney Fun Zone.
Very good. Mr. Jeff Davis.
On Twitter, you can find me at DW_60. You can also find me on the Sorcerer Radio Disney Fun Zone, and also on Facebook, the DW60 page, facebook.com/DW60.
All right. Kristen, where can people find you?
diningatdisney.com on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Flickr, everywhere. Dining at
YouTube.
Disney.
The Dining at Disney on YouTube.
Except for YouTube. It has to be the Dining at Disney.
That's right. I don't know what happened there.
I know. Sometimes Google does weird things.
No kidding, right?
That's a fact, yeah.
That's a fact, Jack. You can find me at Jedi Musketeer, Facebook, and Twitter. Hey, guys, thank you so much once again for tuning in, listening to our show, courtesy of the Weeby Geeks Network. You can find that at weebygeeks.net. You can download our show through iTunes as well as Stitcher Radio, where you can get your fix of WDW After Dark on demand whenever, wherever, as long as you've got that Wi-Fi connection. We'll be talking your head off about all kinds of stuff, Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, video games, and of course, the famous theme park. So we thank you so much for subscribing. Spread the word about us, won't you? And come on back for yet another edition next week.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Yeah, of WDW After Dark. Hopefully, we're this coming Friday. We won't be here. Kristen and I will be heading down to the park. So, maybe Jeff and Eric will have Will back from his vacation.
Nope,
and
I won't either. Nope.
Oh, you won't either?
Nope.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, it looks parks, yeah.
Oh, you're going to be in the parks. Hey, Eric, so you're by yourself.
It'll be the Thunder Beaver Hour. Yes.
I tell you what we will do. What I will do then is I will go ahead and put together WDW After Dark special New York Comic Con extra, and we'll go ahead and put some of those red carpet video clips and audio clips there for you guys as an extra portion of this podcast instead. So let's do that instead, and we'll see you guys here in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Crisis for the geek kind. Top geek officials admit they underestimated the hipsters' defense capability. Join the geek revolution and save the galaxy. Geeks from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future. They're doing their part. Are you? Want to know more? Join Weeby Geeks and the Geek Revolution and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship. Listen to Weeby Geeks podcast on iTunes and Stitcher or online at weebygeeks.net. Weeby Geeks, your voice for the Geek Revolution. Want to know more?
The new sound of Sorcerer Radio. Version 3.0.
Sorcerer Radio presents the Sorcerer Radio app, version 3.0. We have the technology. Check out our brand new Sorcerer Radio app for all iDevices as well as Android devices. Better, stronger, faster. Streaming Disney music 24/7. App highlights include a new broadcast window that shows you what you're listening to and what's coming up next.
Hot dog.
Multitasking so you can listen to SR as well as perform other tasks on your iPhone. Gorge. Listener access to all of our daily shows. The new interface interface, a new buffered stream, auto reconnect when signal is lost, visual EQ, pause, rewind, and scrub features, and the new SR info area. Get your virtual Disney World fix today with the new Sorcerer Radio app version 3.0 from Sorcerer Radio.
Be careful with that. It's extremely dangerous.
srsounds.com.